You guys might remember, but you'd be forgiven if you forgot that about a year or so ago, some reports came out that Warner Brothers may be looking at doing a live action Jetsons movie. And at the time, the name that they floated around out there was Good Canadian Kid and one of the greatest guys to ever do it on screen, Jim Carrey. Well, that seemed to blow away like a fart in the wind, as it's never been mentioned or brought up or, discussed ever since. So a lot of people just kind of thought, I think actually somebody even sent in a question on the show about 4 or 5 months ago. And I think I said, I think that project's probably dead. We haven't heard anything from it. Well, reports of its demise apparently have been greatly exaggerated. Because
little Mark Twain
according,
there.
yeah, let a little Mark Twain for you today. Because according to stories now, in an investor's memo that went out from Warner Brothers has confirmed that the Jetsons movie, apparently still with Jim Carrey, is in development. And they are indeed moving forward with a live action Jetsons movie, again with the great Good Canadian Kid, Jim Carrey. I have thoughts. First of all, I have some questions about this, because recently we've been seeing that legacy IP has not been performing great, unless it's a legacy IP that's maintained its status like every 5-10 years, doing something new to keep up with things. That can happen. Who has ever watched the Jetsons? I mean, the Jetsons was even before my time. I mean, I would watch reruns of it as a kid.
Same.
And that was the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but there's never been a Jetsons this, a Jetsons that, anything. The other thing about it is, I mean, all due respect to this wonderful picture of Jim Carrey. Is that from Eternal Sunshine, that picture?
That one I think is from when he's in the Truman Show.
The Truman Show, okay. So, all due respect, Jim Carrey is 64 years old.
Come on now.
I mean,
watch
listen,
it.
I still think there is a place for Jim Carrey in Hollywood and wonderful things for him to do. But George Jetson has like a 7-year-old son. I don't know what was the name of George's boss. Like, I think the name of the company was Spacely Sprockets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sprockets, yeah.
Was that his boss? All
I don't remember his first name.
The Flintstones one was Mr. Slate. I'll never forget that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, maybe he could play that. And I say this as a guy who loves and adores my countryman, Jim Carrey. I adore Jim Carrey. But him playing George Jetson at this point, 15, 20 years ago, perfect. So I have questions about whether or not anybody even has any interest in this movie. But I also have to ask, even if there was some interest, is George Jetson the right role or is Jim Carrey the right guy for George Jetson at this point? And I think he might be a little bit aged out. Oh, some people say in the live chat, the name is Mr. Peabody. Was that it? Was that his actual name? I just know the name of the company was Spacely Sprockets. That's all I remember. So I'm trying to find a positive way of looking at this, but I can't find one. Like, I can't see how, if I'm in a Warner Brothers boardroom and it comes around to me and says, John, give all the pros about doing a project like this, I got nothing. Like, I'm not really sure. Now, if they go ahead and make it, I hope it turns out great and I will be there cheering it on. But right now, I just can't honestly say that I think this is a good idea. Anyway, Chris, you heard about this. Like me, you only ever watched this from some reruns.
Yeah.
So
very light
two
reruns.
different questions, I guess. What do you think about the idea of doing a Jetsons live action movie in general? And then what would you think about Jim Carrey, an all-time great, but how would you feel about Jim Carrey playing George Jetson?
No, I think all your concerns are like very valid in terms of the aging of the IP. I mean, the biggest example is just what happened with Masters of the Universe. But this is in one of those situations where, hey, good luck on the business side of it, but it's something I would love to see. This is a interesting casting choice where I think anytime within the last 4, maybe 3 decades, you could have said this headline of Jim Carrey, George Jetson, And it just made sense in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now here we are in 2020s. And I am fine with it. Yes, he's a little older, more wrinkled up, but they're gonna give him that Conan O'Brien orange hair. They're gonna do all this craziness, and it'll be a heightened world. And I'm fine for it in that aspect. To me, this movie sells more just on Jim Carrey. Then again, I don't even know what his stock is to the general masses. As people like us, grew up and admire a lot of Jim Carrey comedy. I don't know how much younger generation also values that. The only thing we really have to paint towards is the Sonic movies, but a whole lot of other things with that. So to me, I want this, but I agree with you. I think it's a long battle in terms of how many people go to see it and watch it. But I also grew up with that Flintstones movie, and I just still enjoy that one. For all the practical and crazy sets they built for that. I know they won't do that for this, but I just for the fun of it, I want this movie. I need this movie, John.
But to John's point, though, that Flintstones movie was 1994. So that's going back, and that was a lot
32 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so what about this as a notion, though? What about the idea of aging up the Jetsons? What if Elroy is now 20? What if his older sister is 30? And somebody just put in the live chat there. I pulled it up, but like get a Julianne Moore as Jane, as his wife, and taking a little bit of a different approach to it. I'm just gonna have a hard time. I'm just gonna have a hard time if they have a 5-year-old Elroy and Samara Weaving as Jane.
Yeah, that is.
And then Jim Carrey as George. That's just gonna be a little bit hard to wrap my head around. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? They're talking about Warner Brothers looks like they are absolutely still committed to developing and making a live-action Jetsons movie. And from what it looks like, Jim Carrey is still the guy to play George. I want to love this, but I have my doubts, to be honest. But whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, Mars Men. Guys, you know that one of the frustrating things about getting older is realizing that the things that used to come naturally suddenly require a lot more effort. You wake up tired, workouts feel harder, recovery takes longer, and by the middle of the afternoon, your energy and focus can completely disappear. And that's where Mars Men comes in. Mars Men is designed to support healthy testosterone levels, natural energy, and stamina using 8 clinically dosed ingredients. There are absolutely no synthetics or needles, and it's made in the USA and third-party tested. Some men report steadier energy, stronger workouts, and better recovery, and it comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts when you check out. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the John Campea Show and tell them we sent you.